Alright, guys. Good morning. Once again, Mr. Hinton coming to you with another art history lesson, art lesson. Okay. Today we're going to be focusing on the kingdom of Benin in the region of South Africa that was responsible for making a lot of bronze works. Okay. We're going to be doing an African mask. And that African mask is going to be kind of inspired by the work of Benin. Um, Even though some of the people that came in Europe, they saw the works in Benin and they thought that they couldn't possibly, be done by people, in Africa or whatever, because they were so magnificent. So they wanted to say that they were, they got it from people that came to trade from Portugal and different places in Africa. But what they really didn't realize, or what they didn't want to admit, is Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa have been in trading routes with places as far away as from China since the times before recorded history. So that's just simply not true. One of those many misnomers about Africa. So they had been doing a whole lot of things, and particularly in the kingdom of Benin. It probably started with the Nook Empire, Nook N-O-K Empire, way back in the day. The first evidence of bronze work has been going all the way back to 25 BC. So going back further, going back really far, they've been doing the bronze work and the mask. And this is going to be kind of inspired by that. What we're going to do is end up doing is something kind of like this, okay? And this is not a mask to be worn on your face, obviously, okay? We're going to be using plaster, and we're going to be using a plastic kind of thing to build our mask off of. And yeah, it's not a big mask. It can't cover your face. This is not Halloween style kind of thing. Not trying to make one of those. This is something that you want to hang on your wall. Okay. So we're gonna be sculpting it and painting it and doing everything that we need to do to it to make this mask. And try to have some fun with it. You're gonna be using plaster covered gauze. These little things right here. As you can see, it's just a piece of plaster. It's the same thing that they used to wrap around your arms if anybody has ever broken an arm before, but we're cutting them into little strips. If you've broken an arm before, they wrap it around your arm so that you keep it right in place. It dries, it gets real hard, and so that you can't move it around and re-injure your injury. So it keeps it in place so the bones will heal. So that's what makes it very, very hard and very, very solid. So since we can't, we don't have the money or the time to start casting bronze. Maybe you'll get into that when you go to college, but for now we don't really have the facilities for that. So we're going to use plaster like they might have used in bronze back in the day. So I hope you have fun with this, and let's get at it. Okay. All right, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your tag board and you're going to fold it in half. Okay, it doesn't really matter what color tag board you choose. I'm choosing brown just because I want mine to be brown, and it's probably going to kind of go with my paint. So I'm going to just fold it in half and make sure I'm meeting my corners. Okay, you want to fold it in half the long ways so that you have enough room to put on your mask. This is the back plate that's going to go behind your mask. So you want it to be very even, okay, very symmetrical. The whole thing with this is to be symmetrical. So we're going to open it back up, and then we're going to just take our mask here, and we're going to just make sure we're getting it right in the middle. You want to line it up with the nose. That line should be right going down the center of the nose. Okay, and you want to just put it right in the middle of that paper, and then we're going to make a light pencil drawing around that oval. Okay, yours is going to be light. Mine, I'm making a little dark. And the reason I'm making it a little dark is so that it'll show up on the camera so you can kind of see it. But with yours, you're more than likely going to just erase this anyway. Just, or paint over it or whatever you want to do to your thing. So you want to make it kind of light with your pencil drawing. Just hold the pencil kind of light and do this just so that you'll know the placing of the mask. That's the only reason that you're doing this marker, so that you'll know the placing of the mask when you go to place it on your sheet. So as you can see, I have it in the center. You can see that it's symmetrical. You have as much oval on one side as you do on the other side. And that's what you want. That's what you're going for right there, okay? So now you're going to fold it back, and we're going to draw some basically lines, geometrical shaped lines around it, and try to make our back plate. Now it's up to you, what do you want in the back? Remember that the same thing on one side is going to be on the other side. So when you open it up, it's going to be on both sides. I'm just going with some vertical, diagonal, horizontal lines. You can go with curves, you can go with whatever else you want. I'm doing it kind of far out from the oval. I know that the oval is going to be in the thing. Let me get it, place it kind of in the center again, so I know exactly how far I'm going out with it. Yeah, I want my back plate to be kind of big, so I'm just placing it in the middle. I'm going all the way to the edges. I want a lot of back plate, just because in the style of the Benin bronze mask that you'll see in some of the videos and that you might have seen before. They're kind of bold and have just big backdrops, big elaborate kind of things going on in their plates. Yep, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut my lines out, and remembering that I'm cutting both the papers at the same time. Okay, so if you fold it in half and cut it, you only got to cut it once. Alright, so I'm going to grab my scissors and get to cutting this. Alright. It's all cut out. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Kind of, yeah, I like it. Okay, it's got it. As I said, it's still gonna be the same thing on one side. It's gonna be on the other side. So I think it's symmetrical. I think it's okay. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it fits pretty good, and it's a good backdrop. Might just do one more thing to it. I don't know. I feel like it needs a little something else, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one more cut. Yeah, I'm gonna add one more cut to it. I'm gonna just take it and just cut out a little shape right here, just to give it a little bit of depth, a little bit of ornateness. Yeah. Remembering that it is symmetrical, so whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other side. And folding it like this just makes it easier to just get that same shape. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more, I don't know, just a little extra, I don't know. So, there we go. Let me see how it looks now. think it's okay. Okay, I'm going with that. Alright, now I'm going to start on my layers. I have my plastic mask right here, my mask mold. This is what we're going to be doing the layers on. Got a cup of water, which we're going to need for our plaster cover strips. These strips what you're going to use to kind of mold your whole thing. And you'll see, once I dip it in the water, they become very pliable. So you're going to start with the edges right here, and you're going to stick to the plastic, as you can see. You're going to kind of rub it in a little bit so it'll stick to the plastic, and just dip it. You don't put it in there for a long period of time. You just want to dip it, real quick dip. That's all you need, just to get it wet. You don't want to put any in there and just leave them in there. They'll get too soggy and all the plaster will wash off of them. So just a quick dunk and go around your edges. Okay, now you don't want to put it on that lip. You want to leave that lip kind of exposed, a little bit of plastic lip around the bottom of it. You want to put it right down at that edge. Okay, and you're going all the way around the corners. You're going to start with the edges first because that gives a little sturdiness to your mask. When it's all said and done, you'll be glad that you started at the side to give it some rigidity. It starts the foundation of your mask just a little bit better than it would if you just started in the center. Okay, so go around those edges first when you first start. And once we get all the way around the edges and we have the whole thing closed up, we're going to just make sure that it all sticks together, and make sure that you're using your fingers to just kind of, stick it in there and mold it together. Okay, and now we're going to start on the inside, start covering our mask going across. All right, now as you're going with this, you want to make sure that you're using your fingers still. Notice how I'm just kind of sticking it on there and just kind of stick it in the grooves. Okay, as I'm going around the eyes, I'm still kind of molding with it, just softly, just kind of getting in the grooves with your fingers. That's going to help you out a lot, especially when you get to the part when you're going to be molding. Okay, when you're actually going to be molding, so you want to go over your whole thing. Okay, every little part. You don't really want to leave the eyes open. Not on these types of masks. I would say that, leave the eyes open. Sometimes I'll tell people you can go ahead and you leave the eyes open. But this is more for a wall hanging kind of thing, not a like Halloween mask or anything like that. So let's close the eyes. We can do some decoration around the eyes, but let's let the eyes be closed on this one. Okay, so that's my first layer. Pretty much have it done. Okay, so now I'm going to start the second layer. I'm going to start going around the edges, but first I want to show you about the plastic. I'm just tapping it in with my fingers. You don't need to be that wet. You don't really need to be super wet. But I wanted to show you, just in case it didn't show up on the camera, this plastic lip right here that I was talking about. You want to keep that free of plaster as much as you can. Yeah, you're going to get some on it, but you don't want to cover it. That's not necessary to cover it. You're going to need that when you start to start peeling your mask off. So you're going to need that lip. Alright, so when you go around the second time on the second layer, you're going to start just like you started the first one, going around the edge. Okay, that gives it strength. It gives your piece strength when you go around the edges first. Okay, and on this second layer is when you're going to start building it up. So you're going to need that around the edge strength, so that when it gets more and more weight on it, it'll just kind of be able to handle the weight. So as I get toward the eyes down here, you're going to see me start to kind of build up certain areas. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build up this nose. I want the nose to just be a little bit more a little bit bigger, a little bit pronounced, and the eyebrow areas. And you'll feel that this plaster is almost like clay. Now, once you get it wet, you can pretty much do anything that you want to it. You can kind of ball it up and just make a little ball. You can make horns. You can make all kind of things. So, just play around with it and see what you can make. But use your fingers, as you can see. You're just using your fingers to just kind of pinch and crumble and put it around the areas that you want to put it around. Use more than one layer to just build up, and as you can see, I'm just kind of pinching the area and give it like a ridge. I'm going to use that ridge to put more plaster on that I can build up into just a thicker area around the eyebrows. So you'll just kind of see me doing that as it's going along. I'm going to use my fingers to just kind of pinch it in just different places. So you'll see when you're doing this, you'll see how it just kind of works out, that you can pinch it in and it'll start kind of shaping up just like clay. Okay, so watch what I'm doing. Just kind of check my technique out a little bit, and as you're doing it, you'll be just able to feel around and see what you can do. So just play with it and make it your own. If you want to make the nose bigger, you want to make the cheekbones a little bit more pronounced, you want to make the lips bigger, you can do all of this. Later on, you're going to see me put a few things on here that just stylized. I'm just stylizing it in the inspired by the brass works that I saw in the brass works of Benin. They always had some different things going on in their faces and their sculptures. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna just kind of work and just lay back and let you just kind of see what's going on. And there you go. You can see I just added a couple of ridges and different things to my mask just to kind of give it a 3D kind of look. I wanted to look a little bit textured, a little bit, like I saw in other African masks. Alright, so now it is time to just pretty much let it dry, and then we'll come back and we'll take the mask off after we let it dry for a minute. Alright. Alright, our mask is pretty dry now. I can touch it and feel that it's pretty dry at this point. Okay, I'll let it sit for a little while. So now I'm going to take my mask. It should be ready to take it out of the plastic. What I'm going to do is use that lip that I was talking about and just kind of break it around the edges. It should come out pretty smooth. Yep, there you go. If you need to break it around the edges, you can, just a little bit more, but as you can see, it is kind of rough on one side and then smooth on the other. Okay, and the inside it should feel kind of smooth. That plaster molded against that plastic, just like the bronze would mold on the wax when the Benin masters did it way back in the day. And now I'm going to get ready to apply my paint. So I have everything out and ready. I'm just going to put my paint thing out here and get my paints ready, get my colors together. Choosing just a few colors, not a whole bunch of colors. And now I'm going to just go ahead and paint my mask. So just have fun with it, don't follow what I'm doing. I want you to make it your own and paint it however you want. Okay, express yourself. Feel free to express yourself. Okay, I'm not going to talk through this whole thing. I'm just going to kind of lay back and let you just watch me paint. All right. just let it sit, let it dry for a little while. You want to wait till it's completely dry and then attach it to your back plate. Okay. I'm going to use just kind of just a regular glue. Some people use hot glue. That kind of takes a while. If you have hot glue and you want to use it, that's fine, but just remember that it dries pretty quickly, so you're going to have to do this kind of fast. All right, you're going to have to go around the edges. Now you want to go around the edges, the back side of your mask. You don't want to put the glue on your tag board first, because that over that you drew is a little larger than what your mask is. And that's just because you had that little plastic lip on there. So when you're putting it on, make sure you're putting it inside that oval. Okay, if you gotta move it quickly, because your glue will dry. I'm going to press mine down a little bit. Okay, press it down so it'll kind of stick. Find some places that I can press it down and just hold it down for a little while until that glue just dries. And I have my back plate attached to my mask. That's what I'm looking for. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do. Just press it down just a little bit and wait. And that's going to pretty much do it. Okay, that's about it. So now I have my whole mask. I can decorate this back plate if I want to. By using markers or something like that. I might do that. But basically, in a nutshell, that is what we're doing. That is your mask inspired by the bronze working of Benin. You paint yours all the way gold just to give it that bronze look if you wanted to. But I like color, so I just wanted to color mine and paint mine with some color. Okay? So I will catch you guys next time, and that is our lesson for today. I hope you had a good time, and I'm out. All right.